We can all agree this looks like a water gun, right? Hello folks, and welcome into another build video. This time around, we are trying to find the best way to utilize this oversized Super Soaker that they are calling the Dr. Home Exotic Rifle. Alright, so everything aside, the intent with this build is to provide as much healing as possible, and of course it starts with the Dr. Home, which shooting an enemy applies a mark for 5 seconds, and if a marked target is killed, they'll drop an armor repair kit that once you run over and grab it, repairs 15% of your armor to all allies in your party. So there's a couple notes here. The first of which is I haven't found it anywhere written down, but in my initial testing, it looks like this is 15% of your armor, not of the recipient's armor, which is why we have 4 armor cores down there you can see in the gear. And that's to get our overall armor number up, which increases the amount of repair that we do every time we pick up one of those kits. You're really going to be running with Dr. Home almost exclusively, so your secondary and sidearm are much more preferential choices and have less overall impact on the build itself. But I went ahead with Emmeline's Guard and Perfect Preservation. Take advantage of those armor cores. If you do switch to this gun and get a kill, you'll repair yourself 24%. You'll repair yourself. And then for the sidearm, we have the Backup Boomstick. Love the shotgun damage to kind of get me out of a jam. And then on top of that, if we do get a weapon kill, we have the Future Perfect Talent, which increases our skill tiers, which is going to increase our repair skills, as you can see down the bottom there. So for our mask, we have the Chill Out Mask for a couple of reasons. First of which is the Gila Guard brand bonus of plus 5% total armor. As we said, we're trying to get that total armor number up as high as possible, so 5% doesn't hurt. On top of that, we are taking advantage of the Chill Out Mask's 2 mod slots and rolling repair skills to have essentially 3 attributes of repair skills on one piece of gear. While it doesn't seem like repair skills increases the Dr. Home talent, it does increase our basic repair skills efficiency, which is again the alternative purpose of this build, is to heal your allies through repair skills. And as you can see down the bottom there, we have the Mender Seeker Mine and the Fixer Drone, but I'll get into those in a minute. For our backpack, we have the first piece of Future Initiative. I'll go ahead and roll through all of the perks of Future Initiative at once, and then we'll skip through the rest of them. So at 2 pieces, we get plus 30% repair skills. As we mentioned, that doesn't influence Dr. Home, but it does increase both the Mender Seeker Mine and the Fixer Drone. At 3 pieces, we get plus 15% skill haste and 30% skill duration. Again, both of those go toward the healing skills effectiveness. And then at 4 pieces, we get the Ground Control talent, which increases everyone's total weapon and skill damage by 15% as long as you are at full armor, which along with the Dr. Home talent and all of the skills that you're putting out is not very difficult to do even on heroic difficulty, as you'll see later in the video. And then additionally, and somewhat crucially, when you repair an ally, you and allies within 5 meters of you are also repaired for 60% of that amount. So that is twofold. One, that makes both your Mender Seeker Mine and your Fixer Drone far more effective as long as you are within 5 meters of your allies. You can go ahead and repair a bunch of people all at once, and later in the video you'll see that signified by the green lines that emanate out from you. And then on top of that, the Ground Control talent also seems to affect the Dr. Home repair. So while the Dr. Home is quoted as repairing 15% of your armor, the way I understand it to work is that Ground Control 60% actually buffs it a little beyond 15%, so just an additional bonus to running the Future Initiative gear set with the Dr. Home. And then we do have the backpack on here because it increases Ground Control proximity repair from 60 to 120%. You can see there we have rolled the core attribute to armor, increase our overall armor, and we also have repair skills in both the attribute and mod slots, and that is consistent throughout the build wherever we can get it. For our chest piece, we have the Tardigrade armor system. This is a really nice one specifically for this build. It has an armor core, so we're building that overall armor total. The armor regen's honestly being wasted, but we do have repair skills in the mod slot. And then on top of that, we have the Ablative Nanoplating talent, which is essentially unbreakable, but for the entire party now. The difference being, instead of gaining 95% of your armor back, you only gain 80% for 10 seconds as bonus armor, but it does apply apply to all of your allies on a 45-second cooldown. So moving on to the gloves, you'll see we kept the skill tier core attribute for both the gloves and the holster, and we have repair skills in the attribute slot for both of those as well. So if you want more armor, you could definitely roll these 2 armor cores, but I did want to keep a couple of skill tiers on there to increase the effectiveness of both the Mender Seeker Mine and the Fixer Drone that we're going to be running. And again, the same thing here with the same thing here for the holster that we did for the gloves. We left the skill tier there in the core attribute, and we have repair skills in the attribute slot. And then last but not least, we have the knee pads here. We have gone ahead and re-rolled armor on this piece and have repair skills in the attribute slot. For me, I found 4 armor cores and 2 skill tiers to be a nice sweet spot. The 4 armor cores was tanky enough that I could run around and collect those Dr. Home repair kits, and the 2 skill tiers were still enough to keep both the Mender Seeker Mine and the Fixer Drone effective on even heroic difficulty. So now we get into the skills, which is why we have the Survivalist specialization on for the first skill there of the Mender Seeker Mine. You can only have this if you do have the Survivalist specialization. I particularly like the Mender Seeker Mine for this build because it can follow you around or follow around an ally that you choose while you're running around and repairing. While you're running around and grabbing those armor kits, you don't have to focus as much on where the healing is going. You can designate an ally for the Mender Seeker Mine to heal, or you can target it to heal yourself. Either way, it's going to be repairing an ally and then subsequently repairing allies within 5 meters of you. So you're doing that dual effect with both the Mender Seeker Mine and the Future Initiative talent. It's just a really nice one to be able to focus. It's a really nice one to be able to target an ally, kind of set it and forget it. Similarly, we have the Fixer Drone for our second talent. It will automatically replenish nearby allies' armor, or you can manually target someone if they're in need of assistance. But again, the reason I went with the Mender Seeker Mine and the Fixer Drone is they can work automatically, or you can actively use them and target individuals. But either way, you have the freedom to move around and grab those Dr. Home repair kits whenever you need to, as opposed to some of the more stationary repair skills like the Restorer Hive or the Repair Trap. I particularly appreciate the Mine and the Drone for their movement capabilities with this build. That being said, you could very well disagree with me. I know the healing potency of some of the other skills is higher than the ones I've chosen, but again, I chose these 2 specifically for the way they can move around the battlefield. And then on top of that, with those 4 armor cores, you have enough durability to be running around, grabbing the armor kits, staying close enough to your allies for the Future Initiative ground control to be effective. And overall, really just found this to be a really fun support build. That being said, definitely try it out for yourself. Let me know if you like the skill choices that I used here. Let me know if you guys choose something differently. If you do, let me know why. Love to discuss it. Love hearing from you guys in the comments. As always, like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more like this, and we will see you in the next one.
Cleaners have infiltrated the power plant. They triggered a lockdown. I'd rather not have their slash and burn tactics anywhere near a nuclear reactor.